I don't think anybody cares anyway. But anyway, the thing I'm going to do is release the side plate. And it does get a little bit easier to pop out once you've done it a few times. So we're going to pop the side plate out. Take the spool out. 1/2 gram heavier than it should be. And set it off to the side. Wow. Okay, let's go. It took me a little longer because I can't, why is this table shit? Hang on, let me fix the table. Don't move, nobody move. You guys moved. You're just on a janky little tripod thing. Anyway, I'm gonna put all the parts to this dude over here, and then I'm gonna put all the parts to the other dude over there. But what was taking me so long is I got me a couple handles to try out. This one for the Spirit Fox, this one for this guy. Just to see if I'm ready to slap on one of those. Of course, you know the deal. Go steal your neighbor's 10mm, your buddies, and put it on over a little plastic bag. That helps you. Still got to be careful, but that helps you keep from messing that nut up. So I like that, and I know you guys like that. Nobody wants to see me cut that, right? Nobody wants to see me single lifestyle that. So why I have this here is I was just kind of like, what if, before we tear it all apart, what if, just envision it. Of course, you got to envision it with this on there. Right? Look at that. It could be cool. I don't know about that. Might have to find something different. That may be too much. I mean, it's fine. It goes right with it. And you got that, looks kind of metallic, looks like metal. You guys think that looks better than I'm not talking about the, like, imagine even if you had an 80, 90mm polished up handle with whatever kind of knobs, you think that's better looking than carbon fiber? Of course, you got this black in it too, so I think either or would work. Give you guys some ideas on your LingLs if you want to change it around. There's nothing wrong with this. This is fine. It actually works all right, but if you do start fishing in cold weather, I don't recommend aluminum knobs. They suck. All right, so that's just an option. Now remember this, which way it goes, the thing's facing down to help hold. I don't even think this one actually needs that. I think these are really for the reels, the black, like this, PW100. That double thing kind of helps keep, otherwise it ends up looking all kinked up and whatever. So I think that's what, I don't actually think you need that on these. This is I believe this is, it doesn't push up and down anyway. All right, so coming off, I do like that drag star. I'm only going to tear into it as no more than I have to. So I'm going to take this cover off, look at the gears, probably slap some grease on them, and then get out of there. Okay, so now normally most of them I remember, I think on all the Daiwas, that is just cut out in the metal. That looks like they've got a little plastic ring in there. See that? I would think this is typical of your Abu Garcia, Daiwa. A lot of them are the same. It's just a matter of how far in, how far that is, and then how big around it is to fit into there. But the threads and all that's pretty much the same. Some of them will interchange with a little spacing. I've done it before. But since that's a big piece, we'll move it out of the way. What do we have going on here? Okay, look. Now, unless I'm missing something, this is the second time this has happened. And you guys, somebody comment on this video. That's the wrong way to put those washers in, right? They don't go the same way. You don't put two of them. It's not like doubling up the pressure, right? Is it just me? You put, I don't know if these guys are putting these reels together right. And normally on these are inside of this a lot of times normally. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I guess in this case the thing is, if they were, I don't know, is that designed like that? Here's how they should go. See those? Let me stop right here. It was like that on the Zephyr, was the same way. I took it apart. I was accusing Charles of jacking with it. But they're supposed to go like that. That's how I've always known them to go. Like that, or like this. Facing away from each other, it gives you more squeeze room, you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure that's how they're supposed to go. There's this. So I'm going to put them back the way I like to have them, which is like this. This is the way I like to do those. Top and bottom touching and a big gap right in the middle. And there should always be a little washer right there if you have a bearing. This reel does. If you guys remember right, the PW100, it didn't have that bearing. This reel does. They weren't worried about saving weight, so they stuck a lot of bearings in it, which is good for me. Okay. So we're getting close. Wow, we got a bunch of screws to take out. Hang on a second. What? Somebody posted. I thought somebody commented. Somebody posted something. BFS bait finesse fishing. Just double checking. A lot of times there's sneakers right in here. You got to watch. There'll be one in there. Every once in a while, some of these reels have one back there. Kind of checking it out here. Looks like we just have the one. The three up front. 1, 2, 3. And then this corner's got that dude. So I'll just pull him out first. You want to push hard into it and turn. You don't want to get started doing any kind of stripping. Go ahead and get on it the first time like it's tight as you could imagine, and then that way you won't have any issues. Once you start getting one wanting to strip, that's game. Oh, I'm setting these over here. So that's the first one. I'm hoping all three of these are just the exact same, but we'll find out. That thing starts stripping. I didn't do it. It wasn't me. I just don't think I was on it. Come on. Come on. Get out of there. Get out. You gotta talk them into it. So far, let's check just to make sure. That is a different screw for sure. So the longest one so far goes on the inside. That's the top one. So we'll go that order for now. Hopefully, and it's looking like they are, they're the same. Makes it simpler. Those are the same. Come on. Get out of there. Okay. Check it. Yeah, so that one oddball is the one that goes over there. It's just a hair longer. I guess it has to be. I would have thought they'd have just went ahead and make them all the same exact size. Should be loose. Okay, so from this point, we should just pull it straight up. Voila. Look at that dry gear. There's the reel's brand new. So here's what you got. You got a bearing. There's your anti-reverse for those of you who don't know. So you got a bearing in here. There is a bearing in there. See that's just a regular bearing. Nothing fancy about it, but it's good to have bearing everywhere. Now on the I'm trying to look in here before I go put my hand there. That looks like a bearing in there. So this looks like this is supported, bearing here and in this piece. The PW actually, I'm surprised that reel works and is as smooth as it is. There's just like a bushing thing, no way to change. Whoa! On the inside, you guys hold still. You guys have been drinking. Hang on, I'm trying to adjust the camera where you guys got full view. So I'm actually as far as I need to go. If you guys, hopefully you can see too. There's not near enough grease for me. I'm looking like where's the glob? Where's any? Usually there end up being a glob, like they over grease them or something. This just needs some more grease. I'm not sure what kind they used, but that's what I thought. As soon as I started using it, I'm like, something ain't right. So it should be fine. That's actually a good thing. If I open this up and it was glob full of grease and it was still making a Gary sound, that would actually be like, uh-oh. It's probably got issues. So I kind of want to check out how they made their drag clicker. I know you got somebody out here in YouTube who probably wants to also. Remember how that goes? We'll flip it upside down. That goes down. So that is just a regular clicker. Like now, they've made those like paper thin. See those little clicky things? They're way thinner than all the ones I've ever seen made, or definitely the ones I make. But it sounds good. I like it. It definitely works. And I know you can start getting these now. Charles has Black Max. They make aftermarket ones now for a lot of reels. So Black Max is one of the most upgraded stuff you can buy. So just remember that goes, okay, these all go down. That's why I'll put them that way. That's kind of cool looking. See the deals? And they're running, there ain't nothing on nothing. These are definitely running dry. They didn't hardly use any grease or anything in this one. I'm only taking it apart to there. So there are the two drag clicker pieces. That there, clicking on that, which is how almost all of them back in the day were made. So I'm not going to go any further tearing this reel apart. I'm going to put this right back the way it came, those face down so they can click on there. If you're making your own, hear that? It's the magic in this piece. Sometimes it doesn't have too many stacks. I think it's just that one and then the bottom one. We're not worried about that. I never worry about a drag being two. They all work. Okay, so that works. I just need to grease it. So I'm going to grease that, put it back together. I'm not going to show you guys that part though. I got a special grease that only I know about. No, I'm just playing. It's too boring. I'm ready also to tear this one apart. What's the point? And if you can't mix up some parts, it takes all the fun out of it. So I wanted to just tear into this one real quick. And I can already tell that freaking screw is way too big for that screwdriver. This holds steady. It's only going to hurt for a second. That's why you have different size screwdrivers, just in case. Now, so this is just a tear down, not a rebuild. You guys want to know how to put one back together? Just do in reverse what you just watched me tear apart. It's that simple. Also has this. I don't think it really needs it, but it's got it. They're handing them out free, so everybody wanted one. I almost jumped the gun. Hang on a second. I almost... Give me that. I'll probably cut this handle down. I got a good deal on this one. That's just a standard, nothing fancy. Doesn't look like it looks just like that anyway. So at some point, I'll probably use that handle to turn into whatever else. Okay, I just wanted to see for myself. I thought I had a blue. Let's see. Does it look nasty? Is it Shimano? Oh, that nut's jacked up. Oh well, let's just put it on there for right now. That's probably not going to match. Hey, what do you know? Anyway, what do you guys think about something like that? No? Yeah? Maybe? I'm just spitballing here. I honestly don't like that on this reel for some reason. This one may stay a double handle, but with different grips. Maybe cork. I think just cork. If you guys have ever seen the high dollar, I'll probably do that. Just cork. I don't think I got any. Do I have any cork laying around? Hang on. Penny for your thoughts. We're going to tear this apart real quick before we totally give up. I know. The cool thing about most of these knobs you buy off AliExpress, just like the grease they don't like to use, they don't hardly use any glue whatsoever. So just peel stuff off, push stuff on. I made these. I don't know if I made this one long. Yeah, that's. So what do we think about this? Give it a whole. Will you go in there? Give it a whole different look, right? I'm going to get it all nasty with my dirty hands, but now that's kind of looking like the, I forget what they call that one. 13 Fishing has a TX something. Reel's like $300. Buy one of these for $65, slap some cork on it, and it's a way more capable for BFS type lightweight bait stuff. Yes, no, still a no, isn't it? You guys are picky. Don't like the cork looks good. Don't like the blue nut. All right, fine. Man, you guys are something. I don't like the blue nut either. It's scratched up. I was just trying to change up the, maybe like when you put it on. What did I do with that one? It's too dark, isn't it? It's too dark a blue. There we go. Done deal. Doesn't even need a drag clicker. It looks so good. I don't know. I do not like that beak. The Spirit Fox looks like a bird. It's got like a beak sticking out. I don't really like that. It would have been good if they would have just made it as big as the bottom. It would have looked a lot better, in my opinion. And then they would have kept that recessed like this reel, that it's basically the same reel. See how your thumb rides right there. Palm's a little smaller. It's just, I like it way better. But trying to make myself like this reel because it does work good. I do like it. Let's tear it apart. I like it so much, I'm going to tear it apart. Whoa. Well, should I take the spool out? I probably should. Hang on. Did I show you guys that I think I showed you guys in another video that you can swap out parts on the PW100 in this. I've already done it there. Whoa. No sudden moves over here, guys. Take it easy. Relax. Okay, you go over here on your side. That looks, I guess that's normal. Okay, so here, let's see how this one is. Here's what I was talking about. Those little things I was talking about being not on right, they're inside on this one. So we got a bigger washer, which that washer was in this thing on the other one, this one right here. So that was on that side. These, I'm trying to see. There's two of them. I can't make out if they had them on right or not. This one was cupped in, and this one, yeah, this one's cupped out. So these were on right, the way I think they're supposed to be. And I'm wondering if those aren't supposed to be inside that also, that was just a, somebody got in a hurry, Friday, time to go get a beer. And this thing has no bearing there, which is fine. It's just like the PW. Okay. We got one. Yeah, I thought there's supposed to be one back here. There's a hole there. There's nothing there. Got one little screw, two screws, right? Yeah, one here. Those are little. One here and one there. And then one's on the other side. Almost all your reels have one here. Those are little dinky screws. Look at that little screw. Trying to hide them. Uh-oh, that one like made a weird noise and it turned funny at first. I thought it broke, but same size. Yeah, same size. Now I should just have two here, unless I missed something. Am I on that thing? Why did they use such little screws? This is a different, like they tried to make everything so weird on this reel. I guess they just tried to make it for Sonora so it didn't look like the PW. Because they made this to where there's not that external thing. It's like one molded in, just the dial's the only thing. And the PW has this, big ring. Which actually I like this better. That part, just less, just the dial and the numbers are on the side. On this camera, it's hard to see those numbers. But actually, like when you're out and you turn it, it's like, boop, you can turn it right the way you need to and see them, no problem. I actually kind of like that better. But then on these holes, they kind of made them weird, and I think they use smaller screws than they do in the... Well, the PW has this shaved down. Anyway, they're the same reel. They're the same reel. Same exact, almost reel. Put together at the same factory, made for different companies, so they had to design some differences, just like Luz and Abu Garcia. All right, let's take this thing apart. Oh, there goes that thing. I can slap that on my PW and call it a day. Bearing there. I'll try to show you guys on this reel what I'm talking about with the PW. Now, all this stuff was actually supposed to stay in there. So we're going to pull it back off just away right there, just like that. If you ever get not knowing, just know that when you're reeling, you're turning, and then it should stop. So that, the little dimple thing goes on the outside. And actually, that looks like a different one. That doesn't look like the same exact one that is in. And I just need to order. I know I can get one of those. I just got to get one. I need that little housing. I need that stuff right there in the PW100 to be rolling again. Probably get it for like 10 or 12 bucks. But now comes the fun part. And then while I'm on the subject, if you guys remember, almost all the reels I ever remember, the old Daiwas and stuff, they just have one of these. That's the little... when you put pressure here and then turn the handle, that's the spring-loaded part that, disengages and engages the clutch. That's your deal. The Zephyr has two of them. There's another one down here. I guess this one does too, this part right here. But the way the Zephyr was, it was very weird. I didn't like it. And evidently, that is on my PW2, and I think all that is because that and maybe because this is plastic, most of those, that is like popped in and it won't come out, but the PW and the Spirit Fox have that little keeper basically, so when it all goes together, it it doesn't let it move around because you don't have the right bearings. Technically, I think you could put a bearing where that spacer is and on the outside to help stabilize it. That's probably why those wear out. So technically, I would, if I could track down bearings, if I find another one, and then we'll keep that for happening. Anyway, back to what I was talking about. This thing, I was trying to see if they don't give me enough parts. That's one thing about when I made one for was it the Zephyr? They had like a ton of washers in there. I just glued to the one. I could have actually made. Oh, and if you lose these springs, that's not a huge deal. I'm just going to pull this off. Now see this? It doesn't look real wet either with grease, but I can see it like it down in the cracks and so it definitely has some. Yeah, there's not enough components here for me to make what I was wanting to do. You need one with like several layers, kind of like the Daiwas. And I want to say it was the Zephyr have. So yeah, no way with the parts that's supplied anyway to make one. There's all that stuff. I wanted to look and show you guys real quick while I'm thinking about it before I end this video. See that part right there? That is actually made on to these little arms sticking out. So there's no way that I know of where you could replace and put a bearing in there. So this thing is actually supported by a bushing. So it's not going to be as free in my mind as it could be. But the good side to casting is this part isn't involved in any of the casting. The shaft is skinny enough that it doesn't use any of that. It's just working off of the two bearings. This bearing and the other bearing that is in here. So that's all of your casting. So it's ran by bearings, but they are very limited in bushings. Limited in bearings, there's bushings. I didn't take apart my other reel, I don't think, to check that. I don't know if that's a bearing or bushing, but the worm gear is 2 bushings. I did change the PW100. I had a bearing that fit. You can change that. And a lot of reels have bushings all the way around, and you can change one. Some you can change both sides. So anyway, I'm gonna oil that up, slap it back together. This one, I'm probably gonna do all this tomorrow. I'm probably gonna leave this set just like it is right now. Whoa, would you set still? I'm gonna be thinking about this, where I want to try to grab some parts, because I do have some parts laying around. But I think everything I got left, I don't think I got any skinny stuff left. I think I've used it all. I think all I have left is like this kind of Daiwa stuff. The old clickers you'd buy came with all this kind of weird, ganky, heavy stuff. So I ended up weeding it out and using my own stuff or the Daiwa stuff or whatever. I was kind of made it my own kind of deal. And I was left with all this heavier, thicker stuff. And that won't work. Because it all goes into your spacing. You got a certain amount of space to deal with till you get out here and you put this on. So if you add this here, you got to take away somewhere else, that kind of thing. So I'm gonna have to think about that. I guess I should look it up. I don't think that's the thing. A lot of the aftermarket parts you find from AliExpress, they don't make anything for the reels you find on AliExpress. As far as I know, like, a drag clicker, I don't think they make them for the older reels that didn't have clickers. They make them for like the Black Max or other reels for like 17 bucks. Aftermarket drag stars, they make them, they're geared. Some of them will fit. Like, I'm pretty sure I could buy when they come back in stock, the ones for the Daiwa. You've seen there's like a red, a purple, and a pink, and the other ones are always sold out, and all that's ever is the pink one. I think those would fit on here. And they used to have, you guys remember the DIY, the carbon fiber ones? Those are the ones I liked. I don't see those anymore on AliExpress. I've got one. I put one on, the Ito. TD Ito has a purple one, I believe. I put on it. I bought the purple spool, put it on. So somebody at AliExpress in China somewhere needs to start making all this stuff again. Everything you did make, put it back out, and then start making the hop-up stuff for our AliExpress reels, right? And definitely somebody, if you know, or you've had this issue, or you may know what this is, where I can get one. I basically need this right here. Because I do know this much, when you change one, you definitely need to change, like, I need both parts, not this. That is what went out on my... This is a total different one. And I'm sure it would fit right in mine. But that is a whole different... Mine has got white, and I want to say there's less of them. I want to say it's got bigger rollers, and there's less of them than that. That may be why it's no good. After like a couple years. Wow, that feels like tighter, like more... It actually feels cheaper. It feels like it's more resistance. It doesn't spin as free as I think it should, as all of them I can remember spinning. But if it never goes out, I'll take it. But when you're turning the handle, you're turning that resistance when you're cranking in. I don't know if you guys can tell, but like there's no spin to it. It instantly stops. And I believe they're supposed to be a little freer than that. I would almost swear they're supposed to be freer than that. But anyway, I need one of those. Because more importantly than being free, they need to stick. And mine is, it's not an instant anti-reverse. It kind of wiggles a little bit, and then sometimes it'll go, woo, a couple turns. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Hopefully, if you have any questions, comment below. Yeah, much better overall, the looks of it before. Doesn't look too good now. Let's mix all the parts up and see if I can get them put back the way they go. I'm almost positive all of these parts, even Daiwa, are all the same. Now you can see this is a little different. Possibly would still be the same. The little washers, that's all the same. That's different. And then see how the mechanisms are made. Oh, I know what I wanted to do. Oh, I already looked at that. I'm pretty sure that's a bearing. I just need to oil that one, put it back together. I'm not in the mood right now, or I may wait and decide tomorrow if I want to tear it apart and see if the worm gears. I'm pretty sure there's just going to be bushings there. I don't even remember what it said the bearing count was. I seen a 7.3 gram spool, looked kind of like I just like the looks overall, it's a copy of a Steez, you can tell. I'm like, shut up and sell me that. And then I get it in, and the spool weighs 7.8 grams. What? So anyway, I'm going to get one. I'm going to get this. I'm going to have 2 LingLs, and they're going to have at least 7.3 gram spools, possibly 7.4. I heard that there's a rumor out, and I may have started it, that there's 7.4, the batch that's out right now, which that's fine. I'll take it if it's advertised at 7.3 and it's a 0.1 more or less. Either way, I'm not going to but half a gram, I had a problem with that. Anyway, guys, get out of here. Thanks for watching. Got any questions, comment below. Stay tuned. I guess you guys like these live videos. Nobody watches them while I'm doing them, but then they get more views than me going out and spending, well, I'm going to be out fishing regardless, but then I spend a couple hours editing those videos, 2 to 4 hours, and then they get less views than these live little things doing right while I'm doing what I'm doing. So anyway, that's why I do what I do when I do what I do. Get out of here. Go bass and bonsai. At least go bass fishing if you're still where you're able to. I may have went for the last true trip, and it was shortened. I told you guys about this trip, right? Now me and Charles had another good day again yesterday. Today I went I squeezed in as much time as I could. Ended up on, I didn't go to crankbait fish. Guess what I did? I crankbait fished. I was catching them right and left. I got, oh yeah, the new little gold crankbait. Bam. Just throwing it, of course, on the gold colored combo, right? The LingL. That little crankbait I just got from AliExpress. I was whacking them right and left. It works pretty good. Still up in the air on how well it comes through the cover, the brush. It did get hung up twice, but it was catching fish. And I'm not sure. One of them wasn't its fault. You know, it was like branches like this, and I ran it right into it, and it stuck. The other one, I couldn't really tell where it was stuck at, but it came out. But it catches fish, more importantly, really. It takes a real good square bill to be, like, do it all. Catch the fish, come in and out of the brush, real, you know, over all that, and work real well. Anyway, yeah. Latest fishing vids. I got to get it at it. I got me and Charles. We did a kayak. He put a trolling motor on his kayak. We raced against my bass boat. I don't know how that'll come out, but I'm gonna try to get that one out. I'm gonna get this one. I'm gonna go upstairs now and work on putting one out that where I was just talking about the this rod, the Tomo with the, I already forgot what they call that. Xinghe LingL with the Tomo rod, fishing on the new John Koo. How do you guys say that? John Koo or John Ko? Whopper Plopper. Caught a bass. Check it out. That video, those two will be out very shortly. I do have one. It's a split day because I had so much footage, and it's from last year, though. You guys are hearing me talk about the PW100 and recommending it, but that's before I got all this other stuff. As of right now, as I get out of here, now this is all based on durability, and I won't know that till sometime next season, beginning, end, middle, whatever. But not this reel. That's the old Black Knight. This reel, the new Black Knight 2, way smaller reel overall. I'm trying to hold them apart to where you can tell. Because in person, if you hold them like this, they don't look like that in person. In person, they look like this. This looks way smaller. You can instantly tell. There's a smaller reel. But the Black Knight 2, I consider it legit. That thing, I was casting up a storm with it. No issues of backlashing. Throwing little baits, throwing whatever. Like, I mean, if I backlashed, it was because I was a moron in the way I cast. Oh, yeah, and I backlashed this. I had the settings still on 0. The very first cast I made with this one was a horrible backlash that took about 2 seconds to get out. Fish with braid. But yeah, it was, you guys will see that video. That video is going to be down the road, but I'm going to try to, get those ones like I mentioned. Yeah. Black Knight 2, based on my evaluation, like I said, out of the box and working, it's fine. Now, how well these will last, you know, will it go here and then you'll need to get a, whatchamacallit, who knows, anti-reverse bearing, but I'm sure you'll be able to track one down. But the little lightweight and how well it does cast, because I'm casting small and standard BFS stuff, up to what some people would call not BFS stuff, like 1/4 ounce bait, stuff like that, even a little heavier. I haven't had an issue yet. Now, the next step in its evolution, now I'm ordering more of these. I don't know if I've told you guys that or not. I'm ordering one more LingL, but I'm getting, and I don't know when, I'm not in a hurry because I'm just not. It's, like I said, this may have been my last full trip. I'm going to get out a few days here and there. I got so many other things going on that I can use and do whatever. But I more or less already told Noah he could have this one with that rod. I'm probably going to order another one of those rods. And then whichever one has the best cork, I'm going to give to Noah. The one that doesn't, I'm going to work on. Then reels, so that means I don't even have one now. Like, technically, I'm already one behind on these. So I need to order possibly 3 or 4. I got to wait on those rods. If I like the rods, I'm going to order probably be 4 more of these. Now, I've thought about, because everybody's talking about it, the the Snore Dark Wolf. Okay, so it's basically, I think, here's what I think. What the Spirit Fox is to the PW100, I think that's what that is to this. Maybe they went in and they're like, oh, you make our spools lighter because this one came out, you know, and they're like, oh no, we got to go lighter. This is lighter than advertised. I think it says 6.9. It's actually 6.4 with the bearing. And like, I didn't take the bearing off mine and weigh it, but I think the real test, when he did his weighed 6.4 with the bearing, and then it was like 5.5 without. So yeah. The BK2 is, it's hard to explain. I was looking at that. Let me show you guys real quick. In palming, I still think there's nothing that palms. They may not ever make a reel that palms like an Aldebaran, because it's not that it palms small or that it's a small reel that it palms good. It's how they designed it. They designed it. I don't know if you guys can tell just how like round, like a ball shape. So when you're palming this reel, how it has the curves flowing down on the front. When you palm this reel like I do, there's just nothing gets in your way. And so, yeah, this reel, I would say it's made a touch smaller than this reel. I think it's got a narrower frame, but it doesn't palm any small. It palms the same. It feels as good as, you know, or as close as you're going to get. But like how this is angled, see how that slopes down, and this one kind of comes straight out. So when you're holding it, I believe this is a smaller reel than the Aldebaran, but I believe the Aldebaran just has it feels smaller because of that slopes down. So you put your thumb there and it feels like, you see my thumb going down. So it feels like I'm holding something smaller when I'm holding this. And that's what I do not like typically about and even the LingL. The LingL has that high rise feel like the Tatulas and all of your T-Wing reels. And this reel feels, it's way smaller, but it kind of has the same feel, which it feels good. You got that little, it just gives you something, your thumb goes there and it's not a slick surface that got that little indent. I think that's why they put that there, just so it's like, okay, I'm palming the reel. But I was trying to show somebody in measurements the other day, and trying to hold these up so you guys can make it out is impossible. But there's not hardly any difference. And another thing that makes a difference when you're palming them is where they're sitting on the reel seat. And sometimes, I don't know if you guys can make out how that goes back. So it's kind of got it there. I'm trying to look in person here. But you can see that the side plates are clearly, this is a smaller side plate for sure. But look how far down. You see where this reel seat hooks up right here? Right there's the reel seat. And look how far that swoops down. Yeah, they're very close. I mean, you get the calipers out and start measuring. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's make this an hour-long video. I don't care if you guys don't care. There's really no good point to measure, but I'm going to try to measure like right here. So here's the front of the reel seat and the top of the reel. So I'm going to try to show you guys. I'm going to have to look at it, not through the camera. So like right there's the top. That's about as straight as I can get. So the Aldebaran is like 36.1. So when you try to get that same measurement like on this guy. Okay, I'm gonna have to look at the reel, not the. Okay, so you see that? I'm touching, I can't make that 36.1. So I'm gonna spread it out and retest this one. So when I make that right there, let me see. Hang on. So right there, I get 38. So where your thumb sets is like a 2 millimeter difference, but then at the back, this reel, I think, beats the Aldebaran. Let me try to get this one. Wow, that's small. Wait, what is going on here? So like 38.2 at the back. I think is what I got. The Aldebaran. Did you see how much further down the Aldebaran is? And it kind of slopes up. Hang on. Trying to get. No, I think the Aldebaran just flat out is a smaller, just sets way down in further. I don't know if you guys can make out at the bottom. I can't get a good measurement on that. I was trying to show you guys like how far down they've sunk in the spool to get it to where it sets. And I think this rides higher than it has to be. But they palm. Let's see. Let's go to this dude. So like I'm palming how I would palm, and you see how far up my thumb goes on that. But that is very comfortable. Like there is no issues. That feels very little. It honestly, if it felt any smaller, you'd probably would be running into issues. Let me set this down somewhere. But whoa, I'm putting it on backwards. I'm telling you guys, when they designed this Aldebaran, that's why it's been around for so long. They haven't come out with nothing else. Nothing really beats it. So the Aldebaran, and what makes it good is just where, like when I palm like this, by the way. I got 3 fingers up in front of that trigger. But you can literally just completely enclose. That reel is going to get destroyed before I'm done here. But see how I've got the same kind of thing? My thumb's up there in front of it. So they're very close in dimensions. I think they've just managed to, they have the Aldebaran setting lower a little bit. Just by, I'm trying to. Oh, I know a measurement I was going to show you guys. Because sometimes, like, once you can put your hand, like how wide they are, makes a difference. How far they are away from the reel seat. Let me try to show you guys that. So this distance, and no reel will compare to this guy right here. Now, I can't really get a true inside deal, but I can go like right here and just try to kind of show you guys by eyeballing it. So 36.5. And probably, it's hard to do. It's hard to get on camera, show up, but let's just say we could do that. So you see I'm on the inside of that and like that. See how narrow that is? 35. So this reel is right there close. I would say it comes out a hair more. Get it away from something black in the background. So I'd say it would come out a little more. So not quite a millimeter, which is, I think, the closest thing I've ever seen to it. So let's just go with the PW. It also is a very small one. So what was that? 35. So let's just see where it's at. Okay, look at that. So you see how much further you got to come out to get it? So, and it's a small reel. Let's go with the big reel. Here, I'll just show you guys to compare it. Let's compare it with the, here's the old Black Knight. Since we're measuring the black, the other Black Knight. Here's the old Black Knight. Do you guys remember the measurements up on the top? Let's do the bottom before we forget. So what was the one? 35 and 36. So there's the old Black Knight, roughly. So 39. So we had, what were we at? 35 and 34. So there's a bunch of millimeters there. Hang on. Maybe that's not right. I can't. Let me hang on. Right there somewhere. What is that? It's hard to show you guys where. There it is right there. Because I can just turn it. It didn't take much to get it all janky. But it's a huge difference on palming. This thing palms big. And it's not a big reel. It's just once you get it beside an Aldebaran or the Black Knight 2, it becomes a big reel. It's like, whoa, how'd that thing get so big? The easiest way is just to check the top. This little, almost all reels, you can put it in there, check it like that. Just give you a rough idea. It's at 41.4. The Black Knight was way smaller. You guys see that huge gap? If I leave it there, 41.4. So see how much they've shrunk it. So like a 2 millimeter shrinkage all the way around. You know, when you're talking those kind of dimensions, that's a lot smaller. So anyway, I hope that helped. I mean, just by looking at them in pictures and on videos, it's hard to tell. Once you get in person, very small. The only reel, like I mentioned, that I've ever felt, and it doesn't look smaller. That's the thing. This thing can be deceiving. I know the reel test keeps calling, and I've yet to actually hold a Corrado 70, Corrado BFS, or Scorpion. But those guys claim those reels, or he claims that I think palms is smaller than this. But I think this is the deceiving reel. This is the first thing I've seen that can match it in overall size. Well, the Alphas did, but the Alphas like way heavier. And the Alphas is very like right there too. These two, the Alphas, and that's it. That's the only small reels. The Fish Band is very small. The Clamber I have and the PW, but they're still not Aldebaran small. They're close. The Clamber is like, it's getting there too. Let's just check the Clamber measurements. Oh my God. Just the one. I don't even remember what any of them are, but maybe somebody could go back and look if they're worried. And look how thin they've got that piece on the Clamber. They've made it as low as they could. And if that was plastic, they could have never done that. It's aluminum. So it is, and it's probably still not the strongest in the world just because how thin it is. What'd I say the other one was? 38.7 from palming. You know, that's where your thumb, the height of your thumb. A lot of times that makes a huge difference. The minute you start raising your thumb up, everything feels bigger. You're holding, right? You hold anything. If your thumb's out here, it just feels like you're holding something bigger. But the Clamber palms very well too. But like it compared to the Black Knight, you can see that hopefully you can see the Black Knight is definitely narrower. And the easiest way that I can tell is the minute you put your thumb here, like look at my thumb and that spool, the side. I'm touching both sides of everything, and that doesn't have a narrowed up spool like the Clamber. The Clamber does. See where my thumb is? And then the Aldebaran, like I don't feel that I'm pushing on the sides like I do with. The minute I put my thumb up there, I feel like I can feel both sides of the reel. And I can feel it with the Clamber, but I'm touching it's because I'm touching the sides of the spool. So they've kind of gotten that by narrowing up. Very little. That dude is a tank nowadays compared to like the Clamber, the Aldebaran, and especially this guy. That guy palms big. This part of your palm is actually smaller than the, I'll show you guys the big ones real quick. What I call the big ones. The, where did the other one go? Oh boy. I done lost my mind. No, oh, here it is. I lost the Cast King. I lost the Zephyr. Reels kind of palm a little big, but they feel good. The Zephyr, if you can make out how they've got the front sloped down pretty low, is what makes it just palms comfortably. It feels kind of big, but it feels good. This one, they didn't really work on it enough, and that's why it feels okay, and it's not a huge reel, but compared to nowadays, what these reels, like what I have, these two feel bigger. So if I had to give you a rundown real quick on the list, I'd say this and that reel down there, the LingL, feel big. This feels the next size down, then the PW100, then the Clamber, then probably this or the Aldebaran. They actually feel very close. I'd probably still give the edge just a hair to the Aldebaran. Just in the palmability, how they feel. Nothing's uncomfortable though. Even this guy, even that guy down there. They palm good, but you have to, and I know some of you guys know what I'm talking about. Like if you're out there and you're just using the Aldebaran, you got an Aldebaran, you're using it, you grab something that feels kind of normally feels regular, you grab it and you're like, whoa, that got bigger. It's just because of what you're using. As far as if you had that size and I was fishing this and I was fishing this, and if I grabbed that or this, it's going to be like, oh, you can tell the difference. Now, if I'm fishing either of these two and I grab this is actually going to feel better. I'm going to be like, oh, that feels smaller, because it just, and I don't know if it is even a smaller reel. It just palms how they feel, the ergonomics of it. And it's very close. I think, see that hump? This one's just humped up a little more. This one's more streamlined. These reels are very close. They feel very close, like when you got them on something and you're fishing them. But this one does feel a little bit better. Have to give it to Cast King. Not going to happen very often. I like this one better as far as overall looks, though. But this looks good, too. I like this reel. I can't knock this reel. I didn't know if I'd like it or not. I actually like it. It's a good, nice reel. This is, I'm trying to let this one grow on me now that I was let down when I originally bought one last year, or whenever they first come out, a year and a half ago. Just how loud it was and how unimpressed I was with that spool. And at some point I'm going to take the line off and I'll show you guys just how thick this spool is compared to your stuff nowadays. So that's why this is going to be my power. That spool, we're going to see how indestructible it is. I might not push it right to the edge, but I fished it all day today. Did I fish it yesterday too? Yeah, I think yesterday. Oh, I didn't even get it out today. I just didn't get around to it. I think I cast it a couple times, but I didn't really fish it. Yesterday, I fished it hard and heavy with 15-pound line. Never seen an issue. And a leader, 15-pound braid and 15-pound P-line original leader. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Accomplished what I did. Tore apart 2 reels and wasted an hour of your guys' time. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned.